Okay, after you've watched these first two videos that are talking about Habitat for Humanity, take a minute and read through these handouts that I gave you. I gave you these handouts, and these came right off the Habitat for Humanity webpage. And they give a lot of information here about how many people are living in areas worldwide and here in the U.S. and why this is necessary to do Habitat for Humanity. There is a Habitat for Humanity chapter here in Austin that does build houses here in the area. As you look through these areas, you'll notice it talks about worldwide why it's needed, and then it talks about what they do actually in Habitat for Humanity. This part here talks about how important green building is. We've already talked about green building and energy efficient homes, and we'll also talk about LEED in a couple of, maybe in about 2 weeks, we'll talk about LEED and what that is. You notice here they talk about energy efficiency, safety and health, etc. And they build sustainable homes. That's also something we've talked about with green building. Then as we come down, they talk about the International, how it's a nonprofit organization, and how they don't actually give away homes, but it's called sweat equity, how they're building homes, and the people who are going to buy the homes are just getting affordable housing that is not really overpriced. It is a not-for-profit here, but the homeowners do pay for the actual amount that goes into building the homes itself. It talks about here some information about helping with repairs and improving homes in areas, disaster relief, how they choose the families, what you can do to donate information, and the restore. There is a Habitat for Humanity restore in South Austin, which is actually a pretty neat store. I've been down there, and it's kind of a cool place to go down and see. And then what are the donations distributed for? How do they do the international? How does the government work with it? And then the construction technologies. As we build our Habitat for Humanity house, or design it at least, we'll be looking at these different things: sustainable building, energy efficiency, safety, and the construction of it. So we're going to be designing our own house, and we're going to be using Habitat for Humanity guidelines when we're building our house. So you have the client survey, and we're going to go over that in just a second, but I first want to go over, I'm going to give you the link for this. This is also the Habitat for Humanity construction standards, and I'm going to go through a few things on here. And as I said, I'm going to give you this link so you can look this up yourself later. And I'm going to scroll down. You'll notice there is a thing here on the different areas of the U.S. and what the climate map is like. I'll be telling you later where we're going to put our house. And then here it talks about the construction standards that we have to use. Again, submission and statements. And we're going to get down here to the part that's going to actually affect the size of our house. Our house is going to be a 3-bedroom house. So this is your minimum square feet or the maximum square feet you're going to be able to have in your house. Right here, because we're going to have a 3-bedroom house. Then here, you'll see how many bathrooms you can have. So you need to look right here, and then on your client survey, put your maximum square feet and your maximum number of bathrooms, and it's a 3-bedroom house. It can be decorated however you want. So you will be doing the painting the walls and stuff like we've done before. You'll also be putting furniture inside. Your entrances will be accessible with people with limited mobility. We are going to be using universal design that we've talked about before, and we're going to be meeting these standards here. Our doors need to meet this standard right here. We're not going to have garages on our house. However, we will be putting it on a site, and you will be putting a driveway in. We will be adding trees and such, and we'll be talking about site considerations in another video. And we'll be putting in shade trees, and you notice this is actual Habitat for Humanity requirements here. As I scroll down, you'll see that they do have Energy Star requirements, which we are going to put in. Remember that we've already talked about that a couple of weeks ago. And this is one of the requirements for Habitat for Humanity, is having the Energy Star there. And so we'll be putting in different items like that and so on. We're not going to go through this whole 56-page document, but it goes on with Energy Star and some other information. Okay, so on your client survey, you already know the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms. It's going to be a 1-story house and the maximum square foot that we just got from the other page. Now you're going to be filling out this information here. Your house is going to have 2 adults, and that could be a mother and father or whatever 2 adults you might want to put in your family. And I want you to give each of the adults a name and what their occupation is. A stay-at-home parent is just fine, or it could be like a mother and a grandmother or whatever. We're going to have 2 adults in the household, and you're going to give each one of them some kind of interesting hobby or interest that they have, things that they do. You're also going to be putting in 2 children. You're going to give them names and list the ages of the kids, and you get to pick what that's going to be. Each of the kids, you're also going to give them a hobby or interest. Think about hobbies or interests that would be age appropriate for the children. And then, because when we build Habitat for Humanity houses, we're using universal design and making houses that are accessible to people with disabilities or special needs, I do want you to pick one disability or special need of someone in the family. It could be that someone is, for instance, in a wheelchair, someone has poor eyesight, perhaps because it's a grandmother or something, but someone with some kind of special need, and we're going to see how that impacts our design. You can give them pets if you want. Then you're also going to pick an architectural style. It can be one of the styles we've already done, or it can be one of the styles that we come up with later. And you can always come back and change this architectural style if we talk about a style in the next couple of weeks that you like more than the one you picked first. You're also going to add some extra information on here. Decide if you want a deck or patio, or both. If you're going to have extra storage, maybe for needs for their hobbies or interest at the top. And any other ideas that you need. You're not going to add this stuff in yet, but we are going to be adding this part in later on. So you've got a lot of details you can pick here. Again, remember, you need 2 adults, 2 children, 1 person in the family has some kind of special needs or disability. And then this top page should be filled out, and it's going to come from page 11 through 12 on the Habitat for Humanity PDF that I'm going to give you the link to. Once you get those parts done, you're going to come and turn it in, show me this, and I'm going to check you off and give you a grade for the client survey, and then I'll okay you to move on to the next step.